What's up everyone, Daddy Warbucks here, and today I want to talk to you about the patch notes for 2.5 that were released last night. And there's a couple things in the patch notes which are really kind of cool, and there's some other things which are not kind of cool. They're actually quite shitty, but we're going to talk about those in turn. The first thing that we're going to talk about are the class changes. So far, the only thing that they've announced is that Shield Glare is going to get a bit of a change. Divine Verdict rune has been updated to apply its secondary effect, even if the target is immune to crowd control effects. So, Juggernaut, other things, if the diminishing turns is already hit, at least then Divine Verdict will still give you that buff, and that's actually kind of nice. But that's really it. I mean, the PTR just was announced last night, so there's not a whole lot that we know just yet, and that kind of goes to show you that, this is just the preliminary, opening of the PTR. There's still things that are subject to change, so you have to take everything with a grain of salt at this point. I also want to talk about the changes that are going to be coming to Adventure Mode, and some of these are really kind of neat. They're changing the requirement for higher Torment levels from a certain Paragon level to completing a Greater Rift solo. And that's kind of cool, kind of bad. I mean, it's bad because, by putting a solo Rift cap on it, then it's it just makes requirements a little bit more difficult instead of having to farm Paragon. But I kind of like it because I think there's too much emphasis on Paragon level already. So take it for what you will. The other thing is they tweaked a couple of the set dungeons. Whoop-de-dee-doo, but the big one here is bonus acts have been removed, completely gone, which is, my opinion, it's great because there's nothing worse than split farming for your legendary mats, and then somebody closes the wrong act, and you're But now, if you complete 5 bounties in any act, instead of getting 2 little boxes, you get 1 big box that has the combined mats of both of them. So it's it's really, I like it. I think it's worth it. It kind of kills the headache, and now when you're doing split farms, you can just go where the hell you want. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what order you close them in. The only thing that matters is that you do all 5 in each act. And mats, buddy. The next thing we're going to talk about, the kind of general just game changes. Finally, the Armory is released. You can get on the PTR. You can kind of toy around with that. Players now save up to 5 different builds per character using the Armory, which is really great because now you don't have to try to remember what you use with what set and what skills you need to equip, and then that's really cool. Saving build in an Armory snapshots your character's current gear, socketed gems, active and passive skills, and Kanai's cube powers. However, I do not believe this also includes the legendary gems that you would have equipped. So, I mean, that's kind of a good thing too, though, because then if 1 gem is used in both sets, you don't have to unequip anymore. But still, it's kind of neat that we're finally getting this quality of life feature. Also coming in the next patch is the crafting mat storage, which I personally, this is the biggest thing I'm excited about because it's going to free up some bank space, and it's just it'll be really cool to be able to access all those materials no matter what character you're on, and then it's not going to take up any more of your precious inventory. So that's really cool. The last thing I want to talk about are the item changes, and this is the one that okay, all the other changes, the Crusader change, this is the thing that I'm kind of upset about. The other changes are, the Crusader buff, I don't really play Crusader. The quality of life changes, those are really awesome. I'm really happy about those, but this is kind of, okay, here's all the item changes. Number 1 at the top of the list, Primal Ancient items, and this is really just kind of a stupid thing to implement. Legendary and set items will now have a chance to roll as a Primal Ancient, and a Primal Ancient are more ancienter than regular ancient items. They have increased stats and a higher range than regular ancient items will. So it's RNG being RNG, it's completely just shitting on everybody that doesn't play seasons. Because now, if you already had gear that you've farmed who knows how long to try and get the perfect stats and the perfect rolls. Well, now you need to get Primal Ancient gear. Otherwise, you're not on the same tier. You're not going to be competitive. And it's like, you know, they're using this as a way to prolong the lifespan of the game, whereas what we really need is we need some new content. We need some kind of new innovation. Not, hey, now you need to grind for something else. So that's kind of really, really crappy. And then as far as anybody who likes to push the leaderboards, if you don't have a Primal Ancient weapon, good luck. I mean, how are you supposed to compete with damage when you're not even in the same stat range? Now, I don't, you know, Blizzard hasn't said anything yet about the probability of actually obtaining a Primal Ancient as opposed to, it's just stupid saying it, Primal Ancient. They haven't said about, you know, how exactly rare they're going to be or how much, you know, more difficult it will be to attain one from like a normal ancient item. But for anybody who's ever been looking for a particular item and then constantly trying to fish for it and re-roll it and trying to get an ancient, imagine trying to do that same grind now, except you now need it to be a Primal Ancient. It's just so stupid. I'm really kind of frustrated about this, but whatever. Couple other changes. Reinhardt getting its proc increase. Strong arm bracers. It's the changes the way that the proc works, so that's kind of cool. And the duration's being increased to make it more effective. And then class specific items. The barber is now a ceremonial knife, so it can roll stuff like increased mana and, you know, witch doctors. You know, it's kind of cool. And the damage to the explosion's been changed to kind of correct the way that it was supposed to work. And lastly, the Wizard Ring Manald Heal is supposed to be really neat because now Hydras will also proc the damage component when attacking a target. So yeah, that stuff. I don't know. How can you can't look at this part of the PTR and see the other things and go, oh yay, that's great, when there's this giant cloud from Primal Ancient items just kind of looming over it all. That's what I think about it. Tell me what you think down below. Are Primal Ancient items a good idea, or should Blizzard fuck right off? And tell me what you think about the other class changes, quality of life changes, or anything else. Tell me what you think about this video. This is the first of its kind, and I'd like to know if you like it, do you hate it, should I make more, should I just delete my channel entirely? Let me know. Love to hear from you. I'm Daddy Warbucks. See ya.